Hi, students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian, and I'm streaming to you live from Budapest here in Central Europe near the Danube River. I hope everybody has had a great week and is having a nice weekend so far. Hi, Jaspreet. Nice to see you in class. In this session, we are looking at speaking part 3. We'll talk about how to increase your band scores, and I will give you feedback on your comments and answers on how to increase your score. Again, this is a speaking class, so make sure to speak and repeat. My English is West Coast North American. I'm from Victoria, which is the most western region of Canada, British Columbia. My style of English is very similar to what you would hear in Vancouver or Seattle. Those three cities kind of make a triangle of people or population. And you'd hear similar English even all the way down in San Francisco and Los Angeles as well. Students, while we wait for some of your classmates, this lesson is brought to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Check us out there. And for the general, check us out at gieltshelp.com. On both of these channels, we have tons and tons of help for you to succeed. Spend a few dollars, make your life a little bit easier. This is the general version of our website here with the green background. You can click that big red button to join the premium package, get access to over 100 hours of HD videos, interactive courses, as well as original practice exams. I see we have lots of members coming into the class. Nice to see. Rajveer, Yura, Roshni, good to see you in the class. All right, this is our academic website here at aehelp.com. Click that big red button to join us there. All right, Gurleen, Jack Parikh, nice to see more people. Shivani, Aurora, good to have you in the class. Students, you can get our apps from your Google Play, Apple App Stores. Look for our apps, Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help as well. If you have questions, just send me an email, Adrian, A-D-R-I-A-N, at aehelp.com. Hey, Pedram. Pedram says, hello, sir. Today I got my results, total band 7 with 8 in listening and 7 in speaking. If you hadn't helped me, I wouldn't have gotten this result. Thanks a lot, Adrian. Pedram, 7 is a really nice score. That means that you are more than a fluent speaker of English. You are a good user of English, and that's the first level to being a good communicator. Okay, because native speakers are fluent in English too, but not everybody's actually good at communicating. So good job, Pedram. I'm happy to hear of your success. Pedram, send me an email. I would love to get your testimonial for our websites as well. Students, you'll notice, by the way, I never did show you this, but we have these testimonials. It's maybe a bit bright, of these students here on our websites who have used our products in past, and those are all real. So unlike some other websites that fake their testimonials, we have hundreds of these students that really did succeed, and we love sharing their stories. So you can check that out on our websites. Pedram, I hope we can add you as well. Okay, let's get back to point here. So today, speaking part 3. After this class, I will post the schedule for next week's live IELTS classes. Okay, so this is the last one for this week. Today's speaking part 3. Johnny Cash, I love that name. Welcome to our group of members. Johnny Cash, send me an email to adrian@aehelp.com so I can send you those videos, exclusive videos, and some other information. Okay? All right. So without further ado, let's get into our part 3 questions. I'm not sure if some of you remember, but just a few days ago, we took a class where we had a speaking part 2, which was about a place that you went to often as a child. Okay, so that was the part 2 topic, a place that you went to often as a child. And then we had a couple of different topics like playground and so on, okay? All right, so now we're going to do part 3, which is more detailed questions related to the topic of part 2. So connected to part 2. PC Kurdash is asking, can I get band 9 in speaking without using idioms? Yeah, absolutely, Kurdash. You don't have to use idioms to get the band 9. Rajveer says, yeah, we discussed summer camps. That's right. Yeah, that was our part 2, right? We talked about going to summer camp. If I remember correctly, it was Camp Tiger Roar, was it not? Camp Tiger Roar was the name of the summer camp that we chose, right? Camp Tiger Roar. Yeah, Carolina remembers as well. Okay, good. So now we will get into part 3. Okay, let's talk about places for children. Okay, so again, think about answer, explain, example. Okay, Hikmatillo, I'm glad you liked that video about Venice. Okay, so here we go, students. Let's get into it. Let's just start speaking a little bit. Again, answer full sentences. Okay. Here we go. What are some facilities that are built for children to learn and develop? Okay, starting nice and smooth. Full sentences. Chunni, Vij, libraries, parks will not get you band scores. It's too simple. Okay. So give me some full sentences, show your grammar range, okay? So what are some facilities that are built for children to learn and develop? Give me a nice full sentence. Here, I might start with something like, well, aside from summer camps, where children certainly learn many skills, as I mentioned regarding Camp Tiger Roar. Other facilities for kids include, let's see what you come up with, okay? So Kevin Bowie says, there are, in fact, a host of facilities which are erected to provide children with a holistic learning experience, the most recent of which is STEM labs. Others are public libraries and gymnasiums. Good, Kevin Bowie. Did you go to any of these as a child? Maybe throw in an example there. I love your vocabulary. It's great. It really is. So you're using some nice vocabulary there. Maybe add an example in. Okay. Bekjan Omirzak says there are sports facilities and schools which are constructed for kids to develop their physical and mental skills. In these places, they can study and train their body, as I've done from grades 1 to 12. Okay, good, Bekjan. I like it. Okay, I like your word choice and your grammar. It's nice. It would get you definitely a band 7, 5, 8. Maybe even 8.5 if you said that nice and fluently. Chani Vij says, I reckon that libraries are more useful for learning as they not only develop the mental capacities of children, but also provide a conducive environment for them to learn in peace and quiet. Chani, not bad, okay, but that's just library. Library is only one. Students, when you see plurals, okay, some facilities, make sure that you mention at least 2 to 3, okay? They're looking for that. So if you only talk about libraries, you're not getting full marks. Okay, well, aside from summer camps where children certainly learn many skills, as I mentioned regarding Camp Tiger Roar, other facilities include playgrounds and gymnasiums to develop physical skills, as well as schools and libraries for mental development. I myself, of course, went to many of these places growing up. Okay, so that would be your nice full sentence answer, staying on topic and getting a nice high band score. Answer, explain, example. Again, students, repeat after me. Let's talk about places for children. What are some facilities that are built for children to learn and develop? Well, aside from summer camps, where children certainly learn many skills, as I mentioned regarding Camp Tiger Roar, other facilities for kids include playgrounds and gymnasiums to develop physical skills, as well as schools and libraries for mental development. I myself, of course, went to many of these growing up. All right. And then with part 3, you will definitely have many of these follow-up questions. So the examiner will have this kind of a question. Which of these are government funded and why? Okay, getting more specific, a little bit more challenging, right? So which of these are government funded and why? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Hi, Eugen. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Okay. So which of these are government funded and why? Again, full sentence answer. It's plural. Ferdov says government should provide playgrounds, schools, and libraries as it is the common responsibility of authorities because it not only benefits children but also future society. Ferdovs, not bad, but you're a little bit off mark because you're suggesting which ones governments should provide, but the question is asking which of these are government funded. So they're not should be, but they are. Okay, so make sure to answer the exact question. Bekjan says, I think schools are funded by the government as they are public and people don't need to pay for their construction. Right, Bekjan? Absolutely, especially public schools. There are private schools that are privately funded. Okay. Prince Chawan says playgrounds are a better place for children to develop their learning skills because in a playground, children with curiosity and some special games can learn. Prince Chan, it's interesting what you're saying, but it's off topic, so you will not do well with that kind of an answer. Okay. One of the worst mistakes, students, on the IELTS in the speaking and in the writing is to be off topic, okay? Even if you're using good English vocabulary and grammar, the examiner will never score you more than a band 5. With perfect grammar, perfect vocabulary, if you're off topic, your score is 5, okay? All right, Jay Mehta says, most of these are funded by the government and some are partially funded by NGOs. The reason being is that it's essential for the government to provide taxpayers with facilities that are needed for the well-being of society. Okay, Jay Mehta, I like your reasoning. I like your reason of why. Make sure to be careful with acronyms like NGOs, non-government organizations. Not everybody knows what those acronyms mean. So don't assume that your examiner will know what you mean by NGOs, okay? So just say it, non-government organizations, okay? Vijendra Rana, government funds to improve many facilities which are directly related to children, such as schools and libraries that I just mentioned, so that children can develop and contribute to society later in life. Vijender, I definitely boosted your response and fixed some grammar, so check the time, 14 minutes. Go back, review, and repeat. Okay? All right, let's take some responses from members. Kiran Nimala says, I'd like to say playgrounds are government funded because local authorities keep an interest for children to be healthy and socialize with their peers. In fact, our community just received a new playground from the government, which was built last week, 2 blocks from my flat. Okay, Kiran, get that example in there. So a new playground was built about 1 kilometer from my house where my kids play, and that was completely government funded. Nice, smooth flowing example. Roshni says, well, libraries are particularly government funded because they enhance the abilities of children, and in the future, this helps to develop the nation. Good, Roshni. Rajveer says, in my opinion, libraries and playgrounds are funded by the government to ensure the inclusion of new books, the proper restoration of playgrounds, respectively. Okay. All right, Rajveer. A little bit awkward, honestly, Rajveer there, but at the end, but not bad. Many private organizations do not get monetary benefits from such facilities. I don't think that's necessary. Kali Toon says, public schools are funded by the government as it puts less stress on parents and decreases the expenses. Okay. All right. Hemant joining in on the class. Awesome. Okay. Well, of the ones I've just mentioned, or I've just said, public schools, playgrounds, and libraries are mostly, if not completely, government funded because these facilities are vital for the development and success of any society. In fact, a new playground was just constructed down the street from my flat where my kids play on the weekends. And this was built by my local municipal government. All right. So there's your full sentence answer. Notice the connections. Notice the range of grammar. What grammar forms am I using here? So can you tell me in my response here what grammar I'm using? Which of these are government funded and why? Well, of the ones I've just said, public schools, playgrounds, and libraries are mostly, if not completely, government funded because these facilities are vital for the development and success of any society. In fact, a new playground was just constructed down the street from my flat where my kids play on the weekends, and this was built by my local municipal government. What am I using here? What kinds of grammar? I'm definitely showing grammar range. So Rajveer Singh says present perfect. Absolutely. It's right here. Present perfect with contraction, as I've just said. Okay, good. What else am I using? Rajveer says simple past. Let's go a step back here. I'm using conditional. Okay, so condition. Okay, which are mostly, if not completely, government funded. I'm using subordinating conjunction. Of cause and effect. Causality. Okay. I'm using present tense. Okay. Was just constructed. I'm using passive voice. Okay. Because it was constructed by my local municipal government. I'm using adjective clause of location. Okay. I'm using simple past. I'm sorry, not there, before. So lots and lots of different grammar forms. This is what your examiner is looking for. They go, oh, wow, okay, this guy just used a condition, a present perfect, several conjunctions, correlative, coordinating, subordinating, used present tense, used an adjective clause, used a passive voice, all in one go and accurately. That's your band 9. Okay, that's what you want to do. So that is what the examiners are looking for, grammar range. I'm really emphasizing grammar range in today's lessons. So what you want to do, students, and here's a little tip, okay? When you're practicing at home and you're giving answers to the speaking, check your grammar range, okay? So this is a tip for practice at home for the speaking section. So tip, when you practice your speaking before the exam, record it. So record yourself, write out what you said, and mark the grammar forms that you are using. Then check, are you missing any important grammar that you should or could use? Try to answer again and include these grammar forms. Okay? So when you're practicing at home, it's great to do that. You should check, because sometimes what happens when I'm listening to students is I realize, oh, this student is really good. They're really good. They're using a lot of good vocabulary, good answers, but it's really interesting that they haven't used the present perfect even once, or they haven't used a single conditional in their speech. And I wonder, do they know how to use it? Are they scared to use it because they make mistakes with it? So you really do want to focus on that. Very clever, Yahya, with the reported speech. Absolutely, I use reported speech there as well. So I say the ones I've just said, it's reported speech. So very good, Yahya. Definitely, you caught that one. Good for you. All right. So here we go. Next question, students. Let's keep moving forward. Always moving forward. Up, up, and away. Okay. How have playgrounds changed since a generation ago? Okay, so how have playgrounds changed since a generation ago? Now, if you haven't used present perfect yet, now is the perfect time, because this question is asking you for present perfect. Okay, so how have playgrounds changed since a generation ago? Yagnesh says, playing areas have changed in many aspects, including better infrastructure, more modern equipment, and recreational zones which were not available in past decades. Undoubtedly, this is for the positive. Yagnesh, not bad. Your ideas are good. You have to work a little bit on your language choice, okay? All right. Pachuya Dove says, well, playgrounds have changed a lot over the last 30 years, generation ago, Pachu, not 100 years. In the past, people had just a few places for playing cricket. Playgrounds are not sports fields, so it wouldn't be a cricket field necessary. Playgrounds are with swings and jungle gyms, different kinds of maybe equipment for kids to play, sandbox, things like that. There might be a field as well, But when we say playground in English, students, we're usually referring to infrastructure that's used by children for playing. So jungle gym. Okay, let me give you a little bit of vocabulary here. Okay, so playgrounds. Well, here's a little bit of vocab. Okay, and then I'll look at some more. So playgrounds have jungle gyms. Yeah, it's 2 words. Jungle gyms, swings, seesaw. I believe that's 1 word. No, 2 maybe. Seesaw. Let me see if the spelling on that. It's not a word I write, so seesaw. Okay, there it is. Seesaw. It is like sea. Okay, so jungle gyms, swings, seesaw, merry-go-round. What else do we find at the playground? If somebody knows some playground equipment, so let me give you some ideas here. Jungle gyms are when you see kind of like this, for example, okay, with bars that children hang off of and climb onto. So those are the jungle gyms. The swings, of course, that's where kids sit in the swing and then they swing, okay? Those are the swings. Seesaw, maybe some of you know this. A seesaw is this one here where you have the child sitting here and then the other child sitting here. So that's a seesaw. Merry-go-round is where you have that round object where kids stand on it and then they go round and around and around. That's a merry-go-round. So those are some different types of equipment that are found on playgrounds. And then, of course, sandbox. Okay, I'll include that as well. So sandbox. Sandbox. Sandbox is a box filled with sand where little kids play. Okay? So that would be a playground. All right? Where you have equipment for children to climb and play and build their motor skills. Okay. So let's see your answers. I know there are obviously cultural differences here, so different playgrounds will have different kinds of equipment. Okay, let's see what you have. So, Yura says, playgrounds have changed in terms of quality. For example, in this generation, schools have an artificial lawn instead of real grass. Yeah, and Yura, artificial lawn is also called astroturf. Astroturf is the other word for it. Rajveer says, these days, a lot of activities are included in the playground to attract children, like swings, merry-go-rounds, which weren't around 30 years ago. Playgrounds have transformed immensely since my parents' time. I see that, Rajveer. Very good. Okay. Hikmatillo says, I think it has changed a lot. In the past, there were hardly any playgrounds in many areas. Nowadays, there are plenty of playgrounds with roundabouts, jungle gyms, swings, and so forth. Very good. I love how many of you realize that. Okay, let's use this vocabulary. All right. Hemant Sharma says, modern playgrounds have better facilities, more exercise machines, not just for children, but also for adults, safer swings and rides for kids, which were not there a decade ago. Very nice, Hemant. Good. All right. So, good, good. Now you're getting the hang of it. Nicely done. Let's take a couple more. Jay Mehta says, playgrounds have changed quite a lot as the area of playing has decreased because of heavy construction activity, which I believe is a bad thing. Children aren't getting the influence of playing outdoors, and they're spending more of their time playing computer games. Jay, I think you're taking a lot of your own opinion and emotions into this answer, and you're missing the question. Okay, the question is, how have they changed? Okay, you went off topic and started talking about how children don't play outside anymore. That's a different question's answer. Okay, Pooza Gurung says playgrounds nowadays have changed a lot from a generation ago. There used to be no safety measures for children, but now people are more concerned about it, so the equipment is better built and safer. Absolutely. So, well, I believe that playgrounds have changed much since my parents' time. Nowadays, there has been a lot more emphasis on safer equipment, as well as more types of games like swings and jungle gyms for kids to flex their muscles. Furthermore, not only have the materials used for the construction of playgrounds improved, such as modern plastics and rubber, but also their design using computer software. This is clearly visible in the new playground near my home. Remember, I just talked about that? I said to the examiner that the government built a new playground near my home. So why not include that in my answer to continuously create that cohesion, right? You really want to make part 2 and part 3 feel like a cohesive conversation on the same topic. The more your examiner feels that you're talking about the same ideas in one kind of conversation for part 2 and 3, the better your chance that you're going to get that high band score. Does that make sense? So here, again, the question is, how have playgrounds changed since a generation ago? Again, speak and repeat. Well, I believe that playgrounds have changed much since my parents' time. Nowadays, there has been a lot more emphasis on safer equipment, as well as more types of games like swings and jungle gyms for kids to flex their muscles. Furthermore, not only have the materials used for the construction of playgrounds improved, such as modern plastics and rubber, but also their design using computer software. This is clearly visible in the new playground near my home. So notice, students, that there's a lot of cohesion among my answers. So I'm continuously keeping an idea in my head that I mentioned for the last questions that I can connect to. Okay. Karan, you can use X, Y, Z generations. Sure, like you can say Generation X or Generation Y if you know what they are. Vicky and Arsh, please use English in the chat. Okay. To be fair to everyone. All right. Harmanpreet Kaur, same thing. Please use English. Okay. All right. So, here's the follow-up question. Is this good or bad? Is this good or bad? Okay. So is this good or is this bad? Okay. So is it good or is it bad? Give me a full sentence answer. Ferdov says, of course it is good. These improvements strengthen kids' physical abilities and cognitive skills. In addition, they're safe and a good motivator for children to go out, like my son, who loves to play on this playground near my home. Very good, Ferdovs. You're making that connection. Great. Okay. All right. Roshni says, definitely. It has a lot of positive outcomes. Most children have become more active these days because of playing on jungle gyms and seesaws. It keeps children's whole body moving. Okay, Roshni, good. Careful not to go off topic. All right. Q3, there's not much I can do about the network, unfortunately. It's not up to me. Okay. Harmanpreet Kaur says it's definitely good as these modernizations provide easy access for everyone and many activities to use. Again, this is a connection to the last question that we just answered. Okay. Karan Singh says it's absolutely good. These improvements help children to grow up faster than before and become smarter. Okay, good. All right. So certainly, I feel that these improvements are for the better. Notice this expression here, students. Okay, repeat after me. Is this good or bad? Certainly, I feel these improvements are for the better. Learn this in expression. It's very commonly used by native speakers. It is for the better. Okay. As children, less injuries from safer equipment, but they also develop their and physical capacity to a higher degree because all right. So again, repeat after me. Okay. Is this good or bad? Certainly. I feel that these improvements are for the better, as children not only suffer less injuries from safer equipment, but they also develop their mental and physical capacities to a higher degree because of the greater variety of equipment. Okay. All right. So, here we go. Let's see some other answers. Kiran says, yes, it is good because to motivate children to develop their skills mentally and physically with modern equipment gives faster results. Okay, Kiran, good. Couple of corrections there. Make sure to take note of that. Vijender Rana, if anybody else is having difficulty with the audio, let me know. If not, Vijender, then it's probably on your end, okay? Rajveer says it's definitely good as it not only reflects the modern architectural skills to build such facilities, but also provides children with safer equipment to make these places injury-free. Okay, all right. All right. Andy Gooch says fewer injuries. Good. All right, self-corrections are fantastic. Spaceman Space says there are disadvantages to the improvements because Making the playgrounds from these kinds of materials needs some resources. As a result, they pollute more for the environment because playgrounds in the past were made more from wood and natural materials. That's good too, Spaceman, the opposite argument. Okay. All right. Let's see if I can fix that buzzing, Kalitoon. Thanks, Kalitoon, for the feedback. Hemant says, this is definitely a very positive development since such modernization not only creates attractions for kids, which divert them from smartphones and other devices, it also attracts adults to bring their kids in positive vibes. Okay, Hemant, I like your use of natural language. Let's go for the next question. Here we go. Which places are good for children to go to for entertainment? That's a good one. So give me a nice full sentence answer for this question. Which places are good for children to go to for entertainment? Aya Saada says the zoo. Aya, let's put that into a full sentence answer. Okay. So Bekjun, becoming a member on the channel, that's up to YouTube, not for me to decide, unfortunately. But if you send me an email, I can send you more information. Okay. Ferdovs says aqua parks, zoos, children's theaters, and museums are good destinations for kids, as it's not only interesting, but also they learn more about the world. Like yesterday, I took my kids to the zoo near my home, and they learned all about tigers. Very good, Ferdovs. I love it. Okay. So there are several venues which are ideal for kids to visit for fun, such as aqua parks, zoos, and museums, to name a few. At these places, they can have both fun and education. My kids had a great time at the zoo last month, where they learned all about penguins. Okay. So, good job. Nice. Here we go. So, notice the paraphrasing here, students. Which places are good for children to go to for entertainment? There are several venues which are ideal for kids to visit for fun, such as aqua parks, zoos, and museums, to name a few. At these places, they can have both fun and education. My kids had a great time at the zoo last month, where they learned all about penguins. All right. Let's see what other answers you've come up with. Flower Sun says, I think campsites, like the summer camp that I talked about in part 2, are places where children can take a break and learn more skills for their life. Okay, good, Flower Sun. Now, it's places. So again, students, when it's plural, make sure to mention at least a couple. Okay? All right. Be confident, Kalitoon. Practice lots. Speak lots of English. Okay, for your exam. Philly Solid says, first, it would be nice to clear up what does entertainment mean in relation to children. Of course, it must be fun, including some social interaction and perhaps toys. So as examples, we can mention various clubs dedicated to children, cinemas, and many more. Philly, just be more direct, okay? So entertainment here means to have fun, yes. So be a little bit more direct. Okay. So Pachu says theme parks and swimming pools are great places for children to have fun because they learn life skills and educational skills. Okay, Pachu, that's good too. All right. Sure. Okay, so the follow-up question here, students, is can you give examples? Can you give examples? Now, here, you want to be specific, okay? So, yeah, absolutely. Here in Budapest, some of the places I can recommend for families to enjoy are the Budapest Zoo, Central Zoo, the City Park skate rink, and Alfred swimming pool on Margate Island. Actually, instead of that one, because that's more athletic, I'm going to recommend for you Palatinus Aqua Park on Margate Island. My family has had loads of fun at these places. All right. So again, when your examiner asks for examples, don't just say, well, I just gave you a few with zoos and such, but go into more detail, okay? Go into more detail. So yeah, absolutely. Here in Budapest, some of the places I can recommend for families to enjoy are the Budapest Central Zoo, the City Park skate rink, and Palatinus Aqua Park on Margate Island. My family has had loads of fun at these places. Okay? Again, students, I'm hoping that you're repeating and speaking as much as possible in this class. Okay? All right. So, let's stop there for today, students. Here are some more questions that you can try at home on your own. And again, for lots and lots of help with the IELTS exam, be sure to visit and join our premium packages at aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gieltshelp.com for general. On both of those websites, we have loads and loads of help for you, okay? If some of this video was a little bit challenging and fast, don't worry. Go back, watch it again, practice speaking and repeating, okay? Have an awesome rest of your weekend, everyone. I will be back on Wednesday with speaking part 1, and I wish you a great start to the week. Again, you're all brilliant people. We're programmed to learn. We're programmed to learn languages, so you can do it, and I believe in you. Just keep practicing. Much love to all of you from Budapest. Bye for now.